Hello everyone, thanks for joining me once again. My name is David Porter. I am TPC Global's CEO and founder, and I'm also the co-designer of PriceMark. What I'm doing in these series of videos is discussing pricing in the channel and using our newest iteration of PriceMark, PriceMark IT, obviously dedicated to the IT sector, as the backdrop to discuss some of those most pertinent points. So today I want to discuss the difficulty of pricing in the channel and of understanding the data which is available to you to use in the best possible way to make decisions, of course. So pricing products in the channel, of course, it's an extremely difficult task. Those of you that are in the field understand this implicitly. Often the effects of pricing go unmeasured, not because the data doesn't exist, but because instead the layers of complexity which are needed to benchmark your pricing versus your competitors are just too difficult to do across such a wide and regular daily set of data. But of course, without the benchmarking relating to competitors or perhaps the market, the industry, you have an incomplete picture which is drawn of your ability to grow, to compete, and to succeed in what is a pretty dynamic and quite frankly hostile market, being the B2B e-commerce technology world. What you need is a way of looking at data which gets you away from just looking at pricing. Pricing alone talks about cheapest price, potentially talks about your profile of pricing versus your competitors. You don't want to be the cheapest necessarily. But in reality, everything out there is dictating to you what the cheapest price is and what you want to do about that. But this is a misnomer. This is a red herring. The thing that we don't want and what no route to market wants is to get into discussions about cheapest pricing. Therefore, what pricing data should be able to leverage is other related key performance indicators, KPIs, things such like availability, pricing volatility, the dominance of your pricing, so how competitive your pricing is. These things are important. But what you need also is a way to take what is a lot of data and reduce it down to the lowest level of detail, potentially. How do you get from 1 million data points and get down to 2 or 3 things that you need to talk about, that you need to change? And what do you do with that data? Is it something that is an action for a salesperson discussion? Is it an action for a pricing team to look at their pricing strategically with those few products in that market? Whatever it is, the tool needs to get you there and get you there quickly, because every single day that data is coming. So with PriceMark, we have spent a couple of years building up data. We've spent the same amount of time deploying previous iterations of PriceMark into global vendors. We've had the ability to test what is required to have lots of conversations. And in doing so, we've come up with what is now our industry definition for looking at competitive intelligence underpinned by pricing. So we don't look just at pricing. Of course, we look at average prices. We look at the ranking of your products, but we get much deeper than that. So when you see on screen something like this, Huawei versus Netgear across what is, and I will show you quite a few countries, about 30 resellers involved there. You can easily see here what it is that Huawei or Netgear need to start looking at. Availability for Huawei across 61 products is 66%. 2 in 3 of those products on any given day are not available. The ranking, very even. How dominant Netgear's pricing, meaning that they're mainly or 60% of the time across their product sets on any day are cheaper than Huawei's. The volatility of Huawei's pricing, whether it's gone up or down 5% from one day to another, is sitting at 13%, which I would suggest is pretty high. And the overall health score, which brings all this together, gives you a picture that they're a good 8 points down on Netgear. So there are things to be done. And when you want to go a step further, and there are another 9 tabs here, you know where to go. And not only that, on a page like this, you can say, well, are we looking like this across all of our countries? And the answer is no. It's never the case, almost never the case. You can start to look at this country by country and say what it is, where do I want to focus? And then when you choose where you want to focus, you say, well, I want to have a look at the Netherlands. You can go to the next level, which is the scorecard, and you can select your country, and then you will see the resellers in that country and start to go the next level of detail down. Who is it that's driving, for example, that availability number? ARP up 20% on the previous week, but what does it look like on the previous month? Down a couple of percent. So it's clearly a central point where we have a problem, down 17% from previous month. Huawei aren't doing as bad as Extreme at -30 through central point, but they're also worse against the rest of the competitors. We now want to go one step further and look at what it is that's driving that. Is it a period of time, or is it a certain set of products which have gone out of stock? This is just a starting point, but it's a pretty valid one. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. I'll be coming through with some other videos probably every day. Thanks very much. Enjoy your day. Bye.